Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into a book that really exploded beyond the YA shelves. John Green's The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, it came out in 2012 and it just became this huge cultural thing. Our mission is kind of figuring out how it did that. 23 million copies sold by 2017. That's massive.
It really is. And the title itself gives you a hint, doesn't it? It's not your typical YO title.
No, it's straight out of Shakespeare. Julius Caesar, Act 1, Scene 2. Cassius says, "The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves." Sets a serious tone.
But the heart of it, the real engine, seems much more personal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
John Green drew heavily on his time working as a student chaplain at Nationwide Children's Hospital specifically.
Right. And the dedication.
To Esther Earle, his friend who died of thyroid cancer when she was just 16. That real-world connection, that grief, you can feel it under the surface. It gives it authenticity.
And that comes through in the main characters, Hazel and Augustus.
Definitely. Hazel Grace Lancaster, she's 16, narrates the story. She has thyroid cancer that spread to her lungs.
And Augustus Waters, or Gus, 17, osteosarcoma survivor, lost a leg. Former basketball player.
Right. They meet in a support group, and Augustus has this thing he does with cigarettes.
The unlit cigarette. That's such a striking image. Tell us about that metaphor.
Yeah, it's key. He keeps a cigarette between his lips, but never lights it. He says it's a metaphor, see?
How so?
He holds the killing thing right there, but refuses to give it the power to actually kill him. It's about control, about agency, even when facing something like cancer. Pretty powerful idea.
And that search for agency seems to drive the plot, too, like their trip to Amsterdam.
Exactly. They use a foundation wish, like Make-A-Wish, to go not for treatment, but to meet Peter Van Houten.
He's the author of Hazel's favorite book, right? An Imperial Affliction, a fictional book within the story.
Yeah, and it ends mid-sentence, so she's desperate to know what happens next. But the meeting doesn't quite go as planned.
Understatement. Van Houten turns out to be less than inspiring.
He's basically a mean, reclusive alcoholic, totally dismissive, hostile even. His assistant, Ledwidge, is so horrified she actually quits right then and there.
Wow. But amidst that disappointment, there's a really significant moment.
There is. They visit the Anne Frank house, and, well, Hazel and Augustus share their first kiss there. It's this incredible contrast, new love blooming in a place so heavy with history and loss.
But the story doesn't stay there, does it? There's more heartbreak coming.
Unfortunately, yes. When they get back, Augustus reveals his cancer has returned. And this time, it's aggressive.
Things move pretty quickly then.
They do. Augustus arranges a sort of pre-funeral so he can hear eulogies from Hazel and his friend Isaac.
And then he passes away soon after.
He does. But he leaves something behind for Hazel. Ledwidge eventually finds and sends Hazel an obituary that Augustus had written for her.
Such an emotionally resonant story. How was it received initially?
Critically, it was lauded. Time magazine called it damn near genius. USA Today tagged it an elegiac comedy. High praise.
But not everyone was on board. There was some controversy.
Yeah, there was pushback. The Daily Mail, for example, kind of attacked the whole YA genre for dealing with tough topics like illness and death, calling it distasteful. But publications like The Guardian defended it strongly, arguing that fiction is precisely where teens should encounter these difficult subjects safely and thoughtfully. It sparked a real conversation.
And its impact went way beyond the book pages.
Oh, for sure. The 2014 movie adaptation with Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort was huge. Made over $300 million worldwide.
Really cemented it in pop culture.
Absolutely. And then there was the 2020 Hindi adaptation, Dil Bachara. It shifted the setting to India, but showed how universal those core themes really are.
So bringing it all together, what's the main takeaway for you?
I think it shows how incredibly powerful specific, personal stories can be. Green's own experiences, Esther Earle's memory. They didn't narrow the story. They gave it this deep, emotional truth that resonated globally. It became this incredibly successful piece of realistic fiction because of those specific roots.
And maybe a final thought to leave our listeners with.
Yeah, I think it comes back to what Augustus writes at the end. Getting hurt in life, in love, it's basically inevitable. You can't avoid pain. But, and this is the core insight, you do get to choose who you give the power to hurt you. And finding happiness in that choice, in choosing well, that's maybe the real takeaway. That's something to really think about.